friends, and want to thank you for having me into your home today. So I understand that you're probably a little bit nervous about selling your home. So let's just sit down and let's just walk through step by step any questions you might have and how I can help you with that. So a couple of questions from me. How long have you lived here at Donovan Street?
10 years.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And what are your reasons for selling?
I think we're just looking to probably downsize now. I think we're ready for a change. So yeah, I think it's just time to look for somewhere a little bit closer to our other family members as well as just we don't need as much space.
Yeah, family is really important. And how soon do you think you want to move?
I think we're thinking the next 1 to 2 months. We're not really in a rush, but I think now that we know we're ready to go.
Okay, 1 to 2 months is a good time frame because we normally recommend a 4 to 6 weeks marketing campaign. So that totally fits with what I would recommend as well. With the rest of the property, is there anything that you want to keep or sell with the property? Because that's important that we note it on the Form 6 as well.
I think, yeah, our furniture we would really like to keep, so we'll be taking that with us preferably. And everything else, yeah, sort of we're happy to kind of leave here in terms of the lighting fixtures and the fridge and things like that. We're not really looking to move them as we're a little bit older. We don't really need the fuss.
Okay, and in your initial phone call to me, you mentioned about the signature dwarf pine trees at the front.
Oh, yes.
And the mower. So are you happy for those to be included in the sale because they are a feature of the property?
Yes.
Okay. And have you done any renovations to the property in the 10 years that you've lived here?
Just a few just things to keep up with the
Just general maintenance?
Yeah, general maintenance.
Okay, no problem. So do you mind if we just pause there for a second and then we can go for a little walk around the property and you can tell me some of the features that you have that helps us inform your ad and your campaign? Thank you for taking me for a walk around your lovely home. It was great. I don't think we'll have much trouble at all being able to find a buyer for your home. So I just want to sit back down now and go through the different ways we can sell your home and what I would recommend for you. So the different ways for you to sell your home are by treaty, auction, and also by tender. Now, having looked at the research in the area and the best way to sell your home with the least amount of stress for you, because we've talked about the fact that you're a little bit concerned and worried about selling your home, and I'm here to make it as easy as possible for you. So I would recommend that we sell your home by private sale. It gives us some time to tidy up the things we just talked about in our walk around, and we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. Somewhere in the vicinity of around $740 to $750, I think, is a realistic price that we could get for you in this market. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good place to definitely start. I feel like we would be happy with that.
So how I've arrived at that is we have looked at a number of different sales over the last 3 to 4 months in the same area and the similar type of home that you are currently living in. So that tells us where the market is, what's happening in the market, and we also look at how many homes of a similar standard to yours are on the market at the moment or have been recently and have sold. So that's how we arrive at that price. So I just want to also walk you through how the commission works. So you had some questions about the process. So basically we charge a standard 3.3% commission, and we outline that in this document here. So I'll just walk you through this document. So basically what you would be looking at if we listed the property for $745,000 and then the commission comes off that. So do you have any questions about the commission?
No, that you've explained that well. Thank you.
Okay, so the commission is only paid once settlement occurs and once the whole process is finished and complete. The only thing that we ask from you in advance is some money towards a marketing plan, and we'll talk about that. But basically what I'd like to suggest to you is that we do a 6-week marketing campaign. We do the standard print advertising, we'll do some brochures, we'll make sure we've got photos in the window at the agency, and we'll also have some online listings with websites. Is there anything over and above that you think you might like to include?
No, I think, yeah, we would be happy as long as we've got some even marketing in terms of online as well as in person as well. I think that's a nice recommendation.
Well, that's great. So then we talk about professional photography. It's one of the key things that I think really makes such a difference with advertising your campaign. So I would really recommend that you spend a little bit of money on the marketing and the professional photography, because it can make such a difference, especially to your online presence as well. And we note that in the contract as well. So anything to do with the sale of the property, we have to agree on both, and we sign off on it at the end, as long as you're happy, of course, with me being your agent. So the 4-week package is covered. We have the option to increase that for a couple of extra weeks just to keep the interest going. And it's important for you to understand as well, so when we become a real estate agent, we have to keep all of your personal information private and very well protected under the Privacy Act. So I want you to not be concerned about what happens to your information and your personal details once you register with us, because we're password protected, and it's our duty of care to make sure that all of that information is kept private. I just need to ask you some questions about, once we start the process, how often you want to hear from me, and we have a communication plan so that everyone's on the same page. So can I ask, how often would you like to hear from me once we start the campaign?
I think whenever there's any updates, I think that would be good to know, but on a more regular basis, I mean, for now, the minimum maybe twice a week, just to kind of stay there.
Open for inspections are a really important part of the process. I'd like to suggest to you that we run those on Saturday mornings, if it's okay with you. Would you like to hear from me as soon as those are finished, or perhaps the next day? What would be the best for you?
Yeah, after is fine on the Saturday. We tend to sort of be busy on Sundays, so yeah, Saturday definitely.
Okay. And then would you be happy with me reaching out maybe on the Wednesday just to let you know how all of the social media and the marketing is going, and how many, we call it hits in the industry, how many hits we get on the website and things like that? Are you happy for me to perhaps email you or call you on the Wednesday?
Phone call would probably be an easier way to reach us, so never really open our emails that often.
Okay, understood. All right. And is there anyone else in your family? You talked before about wanting to move closer to family. Is there anyone else in your family that you would like to be involved in the process to help you with any parts of it?
Our daughter actually probably could help us. She's quite useful with this stuff, so yeah, we could give you her contact number.
Great. So is there anything else I can answer for you before we go ahead and sign the Form 6? So you had some questions about the Form 6, so let's just run through those with the form that we've got right here. So Part 3, the details of the property, you were wondering about that. So this is what we call a title search. So I've already gone to the liberty of getting this title search for you. So the details that we put onto the form in the Part 3 is actually from this form here. So it's really straightforward and nothing you need to worry about. All the information is there. It's literally just a matter of popping it onto the form in this section here. You also had questions about Part 4, the term of the appointment. Generally speaking, we would want to have an exclusive listing with you, and that would be for a term of 3 months. I'm confident that myself and my agency can get this sold for you, and I would be asking for an exclusive listing for 3 months. That just allows us a little bit of breathing room from when we get it on the market, gives us a good 6-week campaign, and then some negotiating at the end to get the sale over the line. You also had some questions in regards to the open and exclusive, so we covered off on that. We would be looking for an exclusive listing. An open listing is where you have agents from all around the area, and in my personal opinion, it can actually lead to a lot more stress for you because you're dealing with multiple agents and competing priorities. And you mentioned at the beginning that you're quite nervous, so it's not something that I would recommend for you. Given that this is a pretty straightforward sale of your beautiful home. The commission, we covered off on that slightly earlier. So we charge the standard 3.3, and that's noted in section 7 of the form here. And that is payable at the end of settlement. And then the part 8, that was where we were talking about the marketing plan. That was the authorization to incur fees, charges and expenses. The only additional expense that I can see is part of the marketing of your property, which includes your photography, your advertising on the realestate.com and other websites, our website, and any other social media that we might have. So does that answer all of your questions that you had about the form?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Great. Well, I've taken the liberty of filling most of it out. So if you're happy and you'd like to review it, I just need a few signatures and we can get the show on the road. So if you wouldn't mind signing here in this section. That's great. Thank you. And what I'll do, once I get back to the office, I'll take this signed form and I will email you a copy. I'll also put together our marketing plan and our communication plan, and then I will either give you a call and pop back out, seeing that email's not the greatest thing for you, and we'll get that all signed off and we will get your lovely house listed. I will also provide, as we talked about in the walk around, I'll provide those couple of trade contacts for you that we talked about, just in case you want to maybe do some of those works before we list the property and before we get those photos taken. So you let me know once you've reached out to the trades and if you're going to go ahead. Otherwise, we'll get that photography booked in. Let's say we touch base in a week's time. I'll let you know when we can get the photographer out here. That'll give you a week to just tidy up those last few things that we talked about. And let's get your property sold. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much.
So, Mrs. Strik, this is your main entry. This is lovely. Nice way to walk into your home. And you've still got the original features and the glasswork. That's beautiful. When that gets the light, I imagine that's quite beautiful in the afternoon light. So take me through and let's talk about your lovely home. So you have 2 living areas, I see. You've got one in the front there, and you have another living space here that opens out into a beautiful open plan kitchen. Nice high ceilings, I see. And did you renovate this, Mr. Strik? Is this something that you did yourself?
Yeah, partially. We only did a few little touch-ups here and there, but yeah, it's always been in really good condition.
And how big would you say the property is?
I think it's about 1,000 square meters.
Great, so it's a huge site. Do you mind if we take a walk out onto the deck?
Yeah, of course.
So opening up into a nice big backyard. This looks great. Probably the only thing I would recommend is maybe just a tidy up of the yard. I noticed there we've got 2 different colour pool fences, so you could potentially consider making them all one colour or perhaps replacing the pool fence entirely. But yeah, this is great. Lovely aspect. I can feel the north-easterly breezes. I can see you face north, which is great. Do you have any air conditioning in the property?
Yes, yeah, all rooms are air conditioned.
Oh, great. So it's ducted?
Yes.
Okay, well that's great. That's really good. And your neighbouring properties, what, do you have any issues with the neighbours? They're good neighbours?
No, they're lovely. They're both young families, so it's nice to have
That's
them in the
great.
street.
It's always nice to have great neighbours, don't you think?
Mhm.
So, I'll have a look on the title search, but I think you're probably pretty right with about 1,000 square metres for the property, and I guess we will just pop back inside and have a look at your kitchen. So you've got this island bench here and the back bench, so plenty of storage. I can see the dishwashers, will they be included in the sale of the property?
Yes, they will be.
Okay, great. All right, and island here for your eating area, and I see you've got the separate dining area as well, which is great. All right, let's go and take a seat and let's chat more about how we're going to get your property sold.